Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Just bear with me 1 second, Israel. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Barakatham. Yahweh Shemal Tam Bashim Yahshua. I'm priest and officer of 5,000. Yadiyah holding it down till 12 Shield General Muhammad gets here. Understand something. As the Lord's chosen people, as blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, this is the time that we have right now to come back to the Most High. You see what's getting ready to go down. You see what's going down. You know, Mathumyard on 56th Street, brother, Fresh Grocer, you know, they boarded up their windows and everything, preparing for what's to come. You know what I mean? Because they halted the SNAP and food stamps benefits. You know what I mean? And what's we got to realize for our people as blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women? This is the time we have right now to come back to the Most High, because harder times are going to come than this. And here's another thing too, Ibad, that officer that a lot of brothers that went into. Big shout out to Priest and Officer 5,000, Kazak Ahmad. He brought up a good point. You know what I mean? That the oppressor is the majority of ones that are even on food stamps. And I believe, what's the comedian's name? Ari Spears, I think he reposted it on his page. You know what I mean? Because I'm out there exposing the fact that Esau is the one that is the primary benefactor of SNAP benefits. Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman, we've been struggling for a very, very long time. And we've always been able to make do. But here's something that we really need to make do on. Give me Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. Give me Romans chapter 13 and verse 11, Bubba Quashaw.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11. In that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
In that, knowing the time, that it is high time to awake out of sleep. Okay, no sweat.
They can hear.
All right, no sweat. The water. For now, it is what? It is high time to awake out of what?
Sleep.
To awake out of sleep. Now is the time to wake up. Now is the time to realize the truth of the matter. Our problem is, Mathumya, we think we all awake. I was talking to a brother the other day. He was like, Grand Rising, Yadiyah. And I hate that term, Grand Rising. If you're a brother or sister using Grand Rising, Salaki. Like, what does that even mean? You sitting up here, you know what I mean, burning sage, you know what I mean? Sisters got their heads wrapped, you know what I mean, but not living the lifestyle of a modest sister. You know what I mean? Brothers is out here with kente cloth, dashikis, or fedora looking crazy, talking about the knowledge of the universe and supreme wisdom. Nigga, you fast asleep to what's really going on and what's really prevalent, you know what I mean, in this society right now. The Bible says to awake out of sleep. Now is the time to wake up from that nightmare that we have been in under the oppressor here in white supremacy. Now is the time to wake up to our true identity, to this truth. Read on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Our salvation is nearer than what we believed. Our salvation. And listen, salvation is not for everybody. It's not. That's another thing that people need to understand. Salvation is not for the oppressor. What does the oppressor need to be saved from? Salvation isn't for the Arab, for the African, for the East Indian, for the Asians or the Polynesians and Tongans. No. Salvation is for the children of Israel. For our salvation is what?
Nearer than when we believe.
Our salvation is nearer than what we believed. Our salvation is right there, right around the corner. If it was the fourth quarter, it'd be 2 minutes left on the clock, and we don't have no timeouts left. Our salvation is nearer than what we believed. Our issue is we want to give our salvation to everybody. Our salvation is not for these other nations. This salvation is only for the ones who need to be saved. Who are the ones that need to be saved? Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. And speaking of the topic of salvation, I saw a clip earlier today. Poor Floyd Mayweather. Read Revelations 2:9. Revelation, it was so sad about Floyd Mayweather, Floyd Money Mayweather. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters have sold out for less, of course. But he went up there and said, I had to give my undying support to Israel, and I'm always going to stand with Israel. What he don't realize is that the people that he want to stand with are not the children of Israel. They are not Israelites. They're imposters. They're Ashkenazi. They're fake Jews. Floyd Mayweather, you're a real Jew. He's no different than that other poor brother. What's the brother name that played basketball? Amari Stoudemire? Amari Stoudemire was another brother that was like that. You know what I mean? Over there with the oppressor over there in Israel, masquerading as an oppressor. What they call that, bud? With the with the yarmulke on the back of their head. Not realizing, man, that that's not your culture. The yarmulke on the back of your head is not your culture. It's not. What we got to understand and what we need to realize is that, Floyd, you're a real Jew. Latino man, First Nation man and woman, we're the real Jews of antiquity. Read on.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
I know thy works and tribulation.
The Bible says, I know thy works and tribulation. He knows the work that we put in. He knows the tribulation that we go through. Lord Christ, let's cross-examine tribulation for a second. What tribulation does Amalek go to? That's another thing too. Amalek is the identity of the man who masquerades as a Jew. Benjamin Netanyahu is not a son of Israel. He's a son of Esau. He's a son of Amalek. He is not a Jew. What tribulation have they went through? Oh, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, but Yadiyah. They went through the Holocaust. I saw Inglorious Bastards. I saw Swindler's List. We know what they've been through and what they go through. That's nonsense. Are you aware that the so-called Jewish man gets over $5.5 billion a year from America and Germany? Like, well, damn. What did the black man in America get? What did the black man and woman, in the Caribbean get? What did we get in Mexico? What did we get in Colombia? What did we get, in Guatemala or Argentina? What did the First Nation or Seminole Indian man and woman get? That's right. Nothing. Because we're the ones who go through real tribulation. The oppressor that calls himself a Jew doesn't go through tribulation. He doesn't. And this is the problem that we have to realize. We want to have sympathy and empathy and love for everybody except for our own people. They don't have love or empathy for anybody but themselves. Look at what they're doing over there to the Arabs and the Palestinians. And it's ruthless what Benjamin and Yahoo and them are doing over there. You can't be going through no tribulation if you got nuclear bombs and you threatening Iran, threatening the Houthis and Hamas, threatening Damascus and Syria, flexing your weight, with the oil that you're trying to take from over there. And it's sad, Sawana, like oil and land that they fighting over there with the Palestinians that don't belong to neither one of them. Let me tell you a secret. That land belongs to that black man and woman here in America. That land belongs to the Latino man and First Nation man and woman because we're the real Jews. We're the ones who really go through tribulation. Amalek ain't going through no tribulation. They having pride parades right now over there in Israel. They living a free white and 21 life. What do they have to worry about? And that's why you can't be like Floyd Mayweather and be a sellout. He grows and sold out for less. Tell me, I'm always going to stand with them. What you need to do, nigga, is stand with your people.
Right.
Everybody wants to stand with Israel, stand with Gaza. We stand with La Raza. We stand with Jamaica. We stand with Haiti. We stand with the Dominican Republic. We stand with Puerto Rico and Cuba. That's what we need to do. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. And poverty.
And what?
And poverty.
And poverty. That's another thing that they don't know. Poverty. They don't know poverty. Latino man, we know poverty. We know it in the barrio. We know poverty in the ghetto. And the problem is they saying on TikTok, well, you have an identity crisis. Our people as a whole do have an identity crisis. Because the black man and woman in America believe they're African and you're not African. What African nation do you come from? I'll wait. You can't tell me because we're not African. All skin folk are not kinfolk. Right. Latino man, you have an identity crisis. You think that you're a son and daughter of Cortez, the conquistador. You think you mixed with them and you became a new people. No. Puerto Rican man, Cuban man and woman, you are the children of Israel. Mexican man and woman, Guatemalan man and woman, First Nation and Seminole Indian man and woman, you are an Israelite according to God. Black man and woman in America and the West Indian Islands and Haiti, guess what? We are the real Jews of antiquity, and the Bible says it, and I'll prove it to you. After this, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And poverty, the oppressor that calls himself a Jew don't know no poverty. He owns the Diamond District. He owns Hollywood. He owns the fashion industry. He owns all that. On top of the billions that he get, the music industry, look at Leo Cohen. He said, I just got to feed my family off of the deprivation of black people, off of pushing drugs and, you know what I mean, violence and sex to our communities through the media. That's you feeding your family by destroying ours. It's a shame. That's why we can't continue to follow after them. That's why we can't. They don't know poverty, but we do. We know poverty in the ghetto, Ibad. We know poverty in Jamaica. We know poverty in Cuba. Real poverty. Have you ever been to the ghetto? You ever been, you know what I mean, to the barrio? Most of us live there. And it ain't nice. And listen, man, the ghetto can be a paradise because we're there. But the only way that's going to happen is that we got to come back to loving each other. Right. We got to come back, you know what I mean, to doing for ourselves and building with each other and not trying to build the oppressor. Ooh-wee. Let me address my white friend Lucas in the comment section. You know, Ibad, when I go on TikTok, you know, Aquania, when I go on TikTok, you know what I mean, for some reason, white men that don't have no lives, that have been failures their entire lives, love to come on my live and to talk trash, not realizing I can talk trash with the best of you and while teaching our people. Lucas, it's not my fault that girls never liked you. It's not black people's fault that you probably have a manifesto ready because you're ready to go unalive children in a school or unalive everybody in your workplace, because that's what y'all do. You're probably a family annihilator. Officer Kazak Ahmad talked about that too, Sawana. After this live, he's probably going to have a few beers and think about how depressed and terrible his life is. That the only thing he has to do is to try to troll black men that try to uplift our people. He's probably going to unalive his family because he's a failure and no one likes him. Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. Oh, my bad. I apologize. He said, why would I be married to a woman? He's, you know, it's 2025. He has proclivities. You know what proclivities mean? That's the F-bomb that we can't say on TikTok. He's probably going to unalive, you know what I mean, the adopted kids that he has and that husband that he got. You know what I mean? Because nobody likes him. It's a rough one. And guess what? And here's the problem. Floyd would rather us be joined to bastards like this. Your Christian pastor and your imam would rather us be joined to people who cannot stand us. Like when you see black men and Latino men and First Nation men raising up our people and teaching the truth about this Bible, it stirs something up in them that they just can't help themselves. They can't. They feel as though they have to stop it. When somebody needs to stop you, somebody needs to stop Netanyahu from bombing them Palestinians and their kids. Somebody needs to stop him. Somebody needs to stop Pooh Shiesty. Y'all looking at me like, well, Pooh Shiesty just got out of jail. You die. Why somebody got to fight him? Listen, I'm talking about the real Pooh Shiesty. The real Pooh Shiesty is that guy over there in Russia, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. He the real Pooh Shiesty. Somebody need to stop the oppressor. And guess what? Someone is going to stop you. His name is Yahweh Shah Mashiach. He's speaking right now in this chapter about people that say they are Jews and are not, Keep reading.
but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. But
And I know the blasphemy of what?
the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
And the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not. Ooh-wee. Netanyahu calls himself a Jew, but he's not. Goldberg calls himself a Jew, but he isn't. Steinberg, Heisenberg, Goldberg, they're not the real Jews. So somebody needs to tell Floyd that he's a real Jew. Somebody needs to tell Amari Stoudemire, you're a real Israelite. Let me tell you what happened with the oppressor that calls himself a Jew. After World War II, I believe this is around 1948, could be 1945 or 48, always get the dates mixed up. They were looking for a new homeland because they didn't want the oppressor that calls himself a Jew, the Jewish man and woman, to still live in Germany with the oppressors that are German that oppress them. So they decided to put them in a new land, and they considered many places for them to go and live. And they decided over there in the land of Israel and Palestine. And guess what? Once you went over there, that's when you decided to say, we're the real children, we're this, we're that. And there was an Egyptian president, I believe his name is Nazim something. I always get that mixed up too. But he said this in 1948, that the Jews left black, but came back white. So how can the Jews leave black, but then come back white? It's not possible, because the oppressor that calls himself a Jew from the caves of Georgia, Russia, you know what I mean, over there, that was over there in Poland and Germany and in the caves of Europe, you're not a real Jew. Christ is talking about you. I know the blasphemy. It's so blasphemous. It's so against the Most High for Netanyahu to call himself a Jew, because he's not. Of them that say they are Jews but are not, read.
Yes, sir. And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
And are the synagogue of Satan. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Go ahead, Ibad.
It was 1948, sir.
Oh, it was 1948. Okay. And here's the thing. We got to realize Christ is saying, but they are the synagogue of Satan. El hombre blanco es el diablo. The oppressor. You are the devil that the Bible speaks of. Amalek is the chief house of Satan. That's who you want to stand with? That's who you want to give salvation to, Floyd? That's who you want us to be with? No. That's the problem. That's the problem with our people. And you don't understand the Bible. You're an Edomite. And salvation is not coming for you. Salvation is only for the children of Israel. No, they're not. Nigerians are Hamites.
Right.
Nigerians are Hamites. Black people in America, we got to understand something, that we are not African. See, Sawana, people on TikTok now, user, I'm going to take your question as genuine. Like you can ask it instead of, you being facetious. I don't think you being facetious, but you have heard of the term all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So if you take an Arab and an East Indian, they may look alike, but are they the same people? Is the Chinese man and the Japanese the same people? No, they're not. They're not. They're two different races, two different nations. Africans and so-called Negroes are not the same people. You can smell the difference between us. You can. And this is what we have to come back and realize. You want to go out there and give this. Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And they give me Jeremiah, the 14th chapter and the 2nd verse. Now, this is what we have to understand. You truly are gullible. That if you believe that, what we have to understand is our real history of what happened. The only reason why we were in Africa is because we were fleeing from Roman persecution. The Romans chased us up out of our land. And that's how we got over there in West Africa. And you want to know what happened when we got over there? We thrived for a little bit. And then Africans rounded us up. Arabs built the slave ships. And then they sold us to the white man. That's what happened. It's called the transatlantic slave trade. Now, Turkish, I ain't saying all that. I'm just going to call you Turk. He said, how do you believe this, but not the actual church that started with Peter? We actually do believe everything that Peter taught from the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. We do.
Right.
I believe your earlier question was, why not real Christianity? Here's the thing. And this is where they get confused, Ibad. We're not Christians in the sense of how you see people in the Christian church. But we are true Christians because we follow after Christ.
Right.
What does it mean to follow after Christ? To obey Christ and to be Christ-like.
Right.
They're not doing that in the Christian church. They're not. You know what they're doing in the Christian church? They're turning single mothers and grandmothers away because they don't have $2,000 to give. I know you saw that Pastor Winans say, y'all not listening to what I'm saying. It's 1,000 plus 1,000. He's a fucking pimp. That's Christianity. Some poor grandmother that had to save up $1,200 and wrote that speech to her pastor like he was a man of God. He's a pimp and a sodomite. That's what you want us to go back to? That's what you want? He's not a man of God. Your pastor is not a man of God. T.D. Jakes, the power bottom, Creflo Dollar. Oh, we must talk about Joel Osteen. Didn't Joel Osteen have like $600,000 in his walls in his church? That's real Christianity, huh? No. What you are watching my Ottoman Turk friend on TikTok, it's the real men of God teach here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Right. This is the home of the truth, and it's only for the children of Israel. It's only for Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. And I'll prove that too as well. But first, give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The Bible says that we would go into slavery again. Oh, wait, I forgot. You don't know what Egypt means. Egypt is a Greek word, Egyptos, which means bondage, which means slavery. We walked out of Egypt the first time. We walked out of Egypt. But the Bible says that we would go back into Egypt. We would go back into slavery. With what?
With ships.
With what?
Ships.
With what?
Ships.
With ships. And Andy, if you are, you know what I mean, Mexican, then guess what? You are God's chosen people, man. The Mexicans are the tribe of Issachar. If your father is Mexican, you are from the tribe of Issachar, and you are my brother. Nosotros somos familia una raza. We are one people, one family, one nation, the children of Israel. And Matt, you never done nothing wrong to me, Matt. That's another thing too, sour now. They come on there and they say, oh, Yadiyah, you must hate me. You must hate me because I'm white. Matt, let me talk to you for a second. I am sure you are a lovely man. I'm sure you have never done no harm to nobody. I know you have 2 black friends, including myself, that you watch on TikTok. But it's what your ancestors did to my ancestors. It doesn't matter if you're a good man or not. Was your father a good man? Was your grandfather a good man? Was your great-great-great-grandfather a good man? No. Back in the day, your great-great-great-grandfather was with his buddies, and my great-great-great-grandfather was on a tree hanging. And we're not going to talk about the abuse that you all did to my grandmother, to our grandmothers and our daughters and our sons. So it's not a matter of what, if I hate you, God hates you.
Right.
God does. And that's something you can do to change it. I've only met, I'm about to say sour now. I was about to be facetious myself. I've never met a good oppressor. I've never met a good white man. Never met. I read about him, John Brown. John Brown was a good white man. But that's about it. That's about it. Most of the oppressor men, you know what I mean, are family annihilators. They commit famicide. They unalive their whole family. and ours. That's a rough one, ain't it, Aquania? And you're a real Jew? No, you're not. You are not. You are not. And yes, Dominicans and Haitians, brother, you coming in here as a Dominican trying to say that you and Haitians are not brothers proves the point. Proves the point. Dominicans and Haitians, Levi and Simeon, precept, instruments of cruelty will be in their habitation. That voodoo and that Santeria. In your anger, you slew a man because of what they did to our sister. And guess what? You are family, Haitian man and Dominican man and woman, Mexican man, Puerto Rican man and woman. And it's something that we all share. We all share the same blood, and we all share the same pain and trauma. Because the transatlantic slave trade happened to Haiti, and it happened to the Dominican Republic. Oh, you didn't know that? It's the Bible says that you will go into Egypt again with what?
Ships.
Guess who came over there and dropped the Dominicans off over there in the Isle of Hispaniola? The Spanish colonized the Dominicans. The French colonized the Haitians. Ooh-wee. On the same island, two different sides. Yeah, Haitians and Dominicans was on them slave boats too. Mexicans was on them slave ships too. The First Nation and Seminole Indian man was on them slave ships. The Puerto Rican man and Cuban man was on there too. We just got dropped off at different destinations. Negro, we got dropped off here in America. West Indian man and woman, you got dropped off in St. Lucia, you know what I mean? St. Thomas, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. Haitian man, you got dropped off in one side of Hispaniola in Haiti. And Dominican man and woman, you got dropped off on the other side of Hispaniola, the DR. All right. All right. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And you know what we haven't seen again? We haven't seen our land. We haven't. Even if you go and visit, it ain't the same. You go over there to Israel now, you're going to see stuff that you don't want to see. Brother. The stuff they doing over there in Tel Aviv, the stuff they doing over there in Jerusalem, it is vile and disgusting. We haven't seen our land, not in its glory. No, we haven't. All we know is the ghetto. All we know is the barrio. All we know is the reservation. Keep going.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Ooh, I got another one. I got another oppressor I bought. He said, go find your father before you can find your identity. Your father is going to annihilate you and everybody in your household. Like, y'all don't know why y'all coming in here starting with me tonight. Sawana? Talking about go find your father, Yadiyah. Well, guess what? Guess what, oppressor? Let me tell you something else, too. You do realize that black fathers is in the household. We never left. I mean, Aquani, y'all, you leave your kids? Hell no. Some y'all, you ain't leave your kids? Hell no. Abad got like 10, 12 different kids that we don't know about that he don't think I know, but I know Aquani, y'all. I know my brother. Hell no. We raise and take care of our kids. You know what you oppressors do? When you get mad, if you have a bad day at work, you be like, all right, Kathy, I'll see you tomorrow. They be like, I'll see you tomorrow in the office. I won't see her. They won't see any of us. I'm going to annihilate everyone. Yeah, that's what they do. Talking about find my father. Listen, you don't want your father to find you. You're going to be hiding under the bed and your father going to have the shotgun or the axe. That's going to be the end of you. I'm going to be reading the article like, damn, Jeffrey. It's a shame what they did that. It's a shame what they did to that dog. They're the only ones I have sympathy for now when they commit famicide. When them family annihilators unalive everybody in the household. The dog, I be like, damn, the dog ain't do nothing. Like, goddamn, the cat ain't do nothing. Well, it's hard to catch a cat, but that's a whole nother topic. A whole nother topic. But the dog, I be like, damn, Bill, you had to kill the dog too? It's a lot here. Y'all sit up there like, oh, you was an evil man. Well, guess what? Y'all don't give a damn what happens to our people. Y'all make fun of the fact that our people die, our people get unalived and abused. But you don't like it when we don't have no sympathy for you. And we shouldn't, Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman. We shouldn't.
Right.
We should not. Okay. Andy, that's a good question. He said, where did the oppressor come from? He came from the caves. He came from the Caucasus Mountains. He came from a place called Mount Seir, called Edom, because he's an Edomite. He's Esau. He's a cave dweller. That's where he came from. That's his history. Keep reading, Nightbot.
Yes, sir. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall save you. No man shall redeem you. The problem is we look, according to y'all whole Lamentations 4:17, we look for the oppressor to try to save us. We look for everybody to try to help the condition of blacks and Latinos. A la Donald Trump. You thought Donald Trump, you know what I mean? It's a safe space. If you can come on TikTok and come on the comment section, man, and just let me know. I know you thought Trump was going to help you. Listen, brother, I was teaching last Thursday, Sawanah. You would say, you would say, Kwaniya, I had an Uncle Tomas come in my class and tell me that he was glad that Mexicans were getting deported and he was Mexican, that he was praising Donald Trump. I said, boy, that's crazy, right? That is insane. Like, I couldn't even fathom it at first. But that's why you know that blacks and Latinos are the same people, that we're the children of Israel, because you got Uncle Toms, Uncle Tomases. I even met a couple Uncle Tomahawks. Yeah, that Stockholm syndrome is rough. And that comes from us being in bondage, us being in slavery. That's a rough spot. Like, listen, Amir, I couldn't believe that this brother came in here and said that. But a lot of our people, you know what I mean? Some of you are down with Trump. You thought Trump was going to help you. You thought, and a lot of you are oppressors too. But he don't give a damn about none of y'all. He don't. All he care about is the little ballroom that he's getting ready to build. When Charlie Kirk, poor Charlie, Slacky, I got to warn you, let me know. Charlie down here. Poor Charlie. He in hell right now with Hulk Hogan sharing a glass of hot water. So when Charlie Kirk was unalived, tragically, by his own people, it was white on white crime, because oppressors unalive each other more than black men and Latino men do. After Charlie Kirk's unfortunate demise, his wife got out there and put her tail back on display. She started hoeing immediately. I said, God damn. I said, if only poor Charlie could see his wife hoe on him right now. To J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. Donald Trump was hugging her like, I got this today. And then I was like, damn, she must look like his daughter. Because, you know, he finds his daughter attractive, I bet. That's who you put your trust in? That's who you want to save you, Donald Trump? The same one who said, I spoke with the president of the Virgin Islands. I spoke with the president of Puerto Rico. Claudia, he's the president of Puerto Rico. He's the president of the Virgin Islands. Who is he talking to? I don't know. That's who your faith goes to? And before him, it was who? Sleepy Joe? Joe Biden? Looking up to different oppressors to save you? It's a damn shame. It's a tragic story. Can I get that first in Lamentations, Bubba Kashaw? Can I get that first in Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 17? Because our people need to hear this. Like, and it goes on the topic too, I bought with Floyd Mayweather. You're looking over here to the Israeli, you're looking at Netanyahu, you're looking at Putin, you're looking at Trump. No oppressor is coming to save you. So when it says that no man shall buy you, none of these other nations are coming to redeem you, to try to save you. Read what you got.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Our eyes has failed for our vain help. Brother. You looking at Trump like he was supposed to save our people. I got you. He was supposed to save us from Kamala Harris and the Rainbow Coalition of people with proclivities. I understand. But he don't give a damn about none of that. All he care about is getting with underage girls, playing golf, and building his ballroom. That's really all he cared about. He don't give a damn about nothing. That's who you putting your trust in? That's why you shouldn't vote. Ain't tomorrow election day? Tomorrow is election day. And a lot of our people get out there to them stands, to that school or that office to try to vote. It's vain. Our eyes has yet failed for our what?
Our eyes have failed yet for our vain help.
For our vain help. We're putting our mind, we're putting our trust into something that is vain. It isn't real. That is, fake. Right. It's an illusion. Right. It's never going to help us. It's false. For our vain help. Will this oppressor help me? Will this, East Indian or this Arab, these other nations don't give a damn about us. Right. It's the tell that when we go to different areas all across the earth, when we find our people at the bottom of society, you see the other nations living like kings. Right. You see it. Over there in Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago and the West Indian Islands, right? The East Indian is king over there. They rule over our people. Under the British Parliament, of course, because you got the oppressor over there as well. But the oppressor and the East Indians, they run things. When you go over there to the ghetto, you go on every corner store. Besides you seeing that church, you see that Chinese store. 4 wings and 5 rice. 10 minutes. You see the Arab chicken spot. Thank you, come again. You see that. Where's the black chicken spot? Niggas can't fry chicken sour enough. Niggas can't make 4 wings and fried rice and french fries. I beg to differ. It's a few spots now in Philly that's black owned, and I've been trying to give them a chance. These prices, though. These crack prices. I apologize, Israel. Salakia. Some of these prices is out of hand, Akim. I'd be like, damn. But gotta support Black and Latino business, man. We putting our eyes and our trust in people that don't give a damn about us. Keep reading.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
We've been watching for a nation that could not save us. They can't. These other nations can't do nothing. And it's not black only, Snowy. It's blacks, Latinos, and First Nation and Seminole Indians. Right. That's who the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is for. It's for that Latino man and woman, for that Native Indian and Seminole Indian man and woman, and that black man and woman in America and Haiti and the Dominican Republic and in the Caribbean. That's it. Nobody else. Our eyes. You know why it's nobody else? Because we put our trust in you. And what has it gotten us? I remember when they were talking about Joe Biden. Like Joe Biden was going to save us from big bad Donald Trump. Guess what? What happened after that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, they had the anniversary of the Million Man March about a week ago. Brother, I sat back and I said, this is insane. What has changed? What has changed? Aquania, I went down the rabbit hole of like black-owned businesses and institutions and businesses today on TikTok. And I was looking at like the Negro League, the ABA, and all the different sports leagues that we had that we were in. And I said, yo, the oppressor came in and monopolized everything, took our leagues, took our businesses, and destroyed us. Destroyed us. Like, do you know the benefit of having black sports teams and black restaurants, black schools, like all black institutions, like elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and colleges, and hospitals? Do you know the benefit of all that? All that was taken away because one man wanted to lay down with white girls. I'm talking about Michael Luther King. Born Michael Luther King. His father changed his name and his own and his son's name to Martin Luther King, MLK. Our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. And we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They're not. They're not. And here's the thing. And Christ did not come to save all people. He didn't. That's a lie. It's a lie. And I can prove it to you right after this. Keep reading.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps.
They what?
Hunt our steps.
Brother, they hunt our steps. These other nations hunt our steps. Do I need to go down another rabbit hole? Sonia Massey, Philando Castillo, Sandra Bland, Vanessa Gillian, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Ahmad Brooks, Ahmaud Arbery. Like, come on now. Botham Shem Jones was a Haitian brother sitting in this real living room eating ice cream and listening to music. And that devil Amber Geiger kicking on his door and then unalived the brother in his own house. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. They hunt our steps. That's what the oppressor does. Listen. He said, your hardened heart is so full of hatred, it's depressing. Oh, Mr. White Man, my hardened heart, that's a sad thing. If my heart is hard and I'm spewing hatred, then what the hell has white people been doing to us for over 500 years? What have your people been doing to mine if I'm just talking? Your people do. Your people unalive our people. Your people abuse my people every day. And you have the audacity to come on here and say, you're expelling hatred. That's a rough one, Aquania. That's a rough one. Because if I'm expelling hatred up here, brother, what the hell are you doing? Shalom, sir. That's with us. Like it, you want it? No. Like, that's my question, Aquania. Oh, so what's your if you don't mind me asking, what's your nationality? What's your nationality, by the way? Oh, you black? Oh, I don't believe you. I do not believe you. I don't believe. Listen, it's too late in the game for you to be sitting up here cooning. For you to be cooning up here like this. Oh, man. Here's the thing. Here's the problem, brother. Here's the thing. Yes, cooning. You wanting salvation for people that sold us is terrifying. Yes. Cooning. That's all it is. It ain't anything else. We was talking about Uncle Tomas's. Now we got the Uncle Tom. That's the sad thing. About give me Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. Yes. Because Christ did not come to save everybody. He didn't. He did not. He didn't. He only came to save the children of Israel. Ooh-wee. I think we got a purple rain troll in here too, I talk about y'all. We're losing the IUIC. Let me tell you something about the purple sodomites and Big Abigail Frida and Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate and Big Frida up there in Purple Rain, unalived a beautiful sister by the name of Joy Morgan, unalived a sodomite. Nasty Nate sent a picture of a rod to all of his top, generals and captains and officers. Let me tell you something. We don't send rod pics in here at all. But that's what they do. And they already lost. And I'm going to tell you how they already lost. The Lord is not with them. They went to Africa and got their ass whooped. No, Futu Nongala and the Black Panther laid hands on them. God ain't with them, and God ain't with you, and he's not with your fake Israelite group. He's not. And if you call 20 men, 20, 30 men, tackling four brothers to the ground, a loss, then I don't know what to tell you, brother, than this, that you're a sodomite too. Because you know what our brothers did? Our brothers stood on business. Our brothers
Right.
refused to not be bullied. Big shout out to the KC4. KC4 here in the Israelite School of UPK, you can't bully us off no corner. And you better not touch my chair. You're not. Big shout out to my brother, man, Officer Malak. Would not be bullied. You're not going to come up here and oppose your will, because that's what they do. And the candy canes tried to do it too. Tried to strong arm people. You know what I mean? Because you got numbers, because you gathered everybody across state lines and other states to come down to converge on 4 brothers that stood strong for the Lord. You know what those 4 brothers did? They went back out to camp the next week, the following week, the week after that, and guess where they'll be next Saturday? In the same fucking spot. So excuse me for my language. We staying on the corner. They got ran off because they're not men of God. And you should question yourself. You should. And that's the sad thing. And that's another thing too. They believe that they're good because, oh, look at my numbers. Look at my homosexual. Sawana, did you know that they went out there and had a march the same week that the homosexuals were having their march? And the same week that the Christian church was down there, Pastor Wines and what's that other church called? The big one down there. So the the alphabet community, a big mega church, all had an event downtown in Atlanta. And the Purple Rain decided to go down there and let's go recruit. I mean, that's what their genetic makeup is. That's what their stock is made of. Sodomites, homosexuals, and, Christians. Men like that are not worthy to be up in here. They're not. Only a special type of man can be here. I pray you understand. Got what I asked for?
Yes, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, the 3 and verse 31. Mm-hmm. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Do not look at the oppressor and what he has and say, I must have that. And that's what my brother in the comment section talk about. I'm black. Christ came to save everybody like a bun. It's 2025 and you still want to be an Uncle Tom? You probably got a white girlfriend at home. Now, brother. That's a rough spot. Envy thou not the oppressor. Don't look at the oppressor draped in purple, because that's what your Purple Rain did. Purple was the royal colors of Rome. That's what they wore. And that's what you decide to dress yourself and everybody else up as? Nah, you ain't supposed to envy the oppressor. Don't look at him and think, oh, I got to live like him, that I got to be free, white, and 21. Keep going.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. Well, guess what, loving life? Guess what? And also another way that you're not supposed to be chosen, because he just admitted that he's in the Purple Rain. You're not supposed to dance around with other grown men. Was not Big Frida having a suggestive dance battle with grown men of Quania? I dance with my wives. I know a bun do. He danced with his ribs all across the earth. Now, brother. But you know what y'all do in Purple Rain? Y'all dance with each other. Yeah, damn, Solomon. Just like Big Frida, you a private dancer, huh? You a dancer for money. You do whatever Big Frida tell you to do. I saw you. That's one of the last things you ever could have did. Come up here and talk about IUIC. And IUIC, we do this. And IUIC, you pass pictures around of your rod, you unalive black women, and you dance with each other, and amongst other things that we know that you do, and that you know what you do. Yeah, you know what you do. Tell my bishop as a prophet of God. Bishop he has proclivities, he was molested, and he's not a man of God. He's a sodomite that the Lord is dealing with right now. He's dealing with right now. He don't look too good, do he, Ibad? Last I saw, he looked like he got that die slow. Some of you probably don't know what that is, but that's the thing that you get when you sleep with men. Anyway, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, which means don't be a sodomite.
Right.
Don't live that lifestyle. That's what you want to be. You want to go out there and like who does that, Abun? Who goes down? Who have we ever said, in downtown Philly, they having a pride parade. Let's go pass out flyers. What? Acquire, y'all looked at me like, sir, do what? Do what now? No. Not what we do. Not what we do. No. But guess what? That's what you do. That's what y'all do. And we know y'all do. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Because those ways, it's the ways of death.
Right.
That's the way of death. And that's the problem. You believe that you can be up in there and thrive. You think you can be in that Christian church. You think you can be in that Muslim mosque and still serve God. You cannot. You can only serve God here in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. You, my poor brother, is no different than Floyd Mayweather. You're no different than Pastor Jamal Bryant. You're no different than T.D. Jakes. You're no different than Creflo Dollar or that Pastor Winans, you know what I mean, down there in Atlanta. You're no different than them. You're money-grubbing bastards. And the Lord is going to deal with you. Read Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 1. Read the book of Jeremiah, the 23rd chapter, and start at verse 1, Baba Kushal.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors.
The Bible says, woe be unto the pastors. And it ain't just them. It ain't just them. It's your sodomite leaders in that church, in that mosque. Oh, yeah, Farrakhan too. Elijah Muhammad too. Oh, yeah, all of them. Woe be unto the pastors that what? Read.
That destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
That destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. You know how you destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture? You know who I really feel sorry for? Mathamyad. I feel sorry for them brothers and sisters that truly want to serve the Lord, but you find yourself in a fake Israelite group. Like imagine you're a young brother. You're coming up and you think this man is a man of God. You look up to him. You done followed him from camp to camp to camp. You're thinking okay, they ain't have the truth here. Okay, they was molesting kids. They think you can lay with 12-year-olds. Okay, okay, all right. Over here, they passing pictures of rods to each other. Okay, nah. Over here, you know what I mean? They sleeping with white girls. Well, that ain't too bad. We do that too. But let's start our own group. And then you find out your chief priest, you find out that your leader is getting pegged. He's getting pegged. That's a rough one. Listen, I feel sorry for the women. You got a good point. I feel sorry for that. Could you imagine being a sister and you and your husband looks at you and says, order the pegging device from Amazon? That's a rough one, Quania. That's a rough spot to be in. That's why the Lord said, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. Because your chief priest, he's not a man of God. Guerrilla Hebrew's not a man of God. Bishop Hakai is not a man of God. Just a thirsty groupie. You know what I mean? It's a rough one. You know what I mean? Nasty Nate is not a priest of the Most High, not a prophet. The Lord is going to destroy them. And the Lord is already destroying them. Like, that's a rough spot. You do know Sakari ain't no more, Aquania. They ain't no more. And that's the thing, man. You come up against the Israelite school of UPK, you will fall. All of our enemies have fallen. Look at the candy canes. Look at GMS. Look at Sakari. Look at what's getting ready to happen to IUIC. Lord is doing it right now. Look at your church. Look at your imam. Look at your mosque. Look at the NOI. Where are they? Are they? But you know what's everlasting and growing? This truth. And it's going to remain that way. School been here for a very, very long time, and it's going to remain here. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Saith the Lord, verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people.
Against the pastors that feed my people. Keep going.
Ye have scattered my flock.
You scattered my flock, pushing your doctrine. Yeah, I mean, you know what really, I was listening to Captain's, all right, it's fake Israelites really out here teaching, well, you know, Paul lied. You know, Paul really didn't know what he was saying. Like, brother, you just don't need to teach. You don't understand the Bible. And it goes to show you that you're no different than the common Christian. Because the common Christian, the common Muslim, and your common fake Israelites, you misconstrue and don't understand what Paul was talking about. And it's not just Paul. You don't understand the Bible. Sawana, I had a dear friend in the world that I was friends with for 20 years of my life call me at 10 o'clock at night and tell me on the phone that Yahushua was not a Judite and not an Israelite. Aquania, my homie Mike, you know who he is? Nigga, I'm gonna say your name. They're gonna call me talking about Christ wasn't a Judite and Moses wasn't a Levite. You know what my answer was, brother? Stop getting high. You gotta stop getting high. They don't know what the hell they understand or teach in that church, man. They don't. Our people are being destroyed in that mosque, being destroyed in that fake Israelite group. Imagine you coming up believing this is the house of the Lord. You're a young sister coming up, thinking you found your way, thinking you found the truth. And next thing you know, you're being essayed, being raped, and then your body is dismembered, chopped up, and buried in some field in London. That's what happened to Joy Morgan. May our sister rise again. That's what happened in the IUIC. And they didn't have no response to her mother because you let heathens into your organization. You let, what's his name? You let Hannibal into your organization. Hannibal Lecter. Man, I remember Mathumya, brother, me and I was teaching a class and I was on Shamar. I found this some little shanty town in Africa where they eat people and animals. And I'll never forget this video. I had to cut it off a bunch. It was getting too real. This Hamite woman said that the village chief ate her left arm and said they were going to eat her children and her right arm. And the oppressor sitting there with a camera, and I'm like, well, damn, bitch, why don't you, slacking for the language, why don't you just leave? That's what they do. That's who you let in your organization. That's who you want joined with you. Good night. Never in here. Hamites can't come in here. Heathens can't come up in here. You destroy and scatter the flock of the Lord's people. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. And driven them away.
And driven them away. Keep going.
And have not visited them.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing.
Listen, when the Lord said that he will visit you on the evil of your doing, the evil and the wickedness that they do, don't think the Lord don't see it. The Lord's eyes is what I bought?
10,000 times brighter than the sun, sir.
He see everything that you do. And you're going to get yours one day. Give me John chapter 11. Give me John 11. Come on, show. Give me the book of John, the 11th chapter, and start at verse, matter of fact, give me John chapter 10 and start at verse 11.
Yes, sir. This book of John, chapter 10 and verse 11. I am the good shepherd.
Brother, I want to read this comment. Brother, Abun, you're not going to believe this comment from Love and Life of the IUIC. He said, this is what happened to Joy Morgan. He said she didn't follow the laws. If the Most High, he said that Joy Morgan did not follow the laws. If the Most High, that's why that happened to her. You are a piece of shit. You are a sodomite, a murderer, and a true piece of garbage. And that's the spirit of IUIC. That's the spirit that is on every last one of them. What the other brother, the Benjamin brother? He said the hell with Joy Morgan. He also said the hell with Trayvon Martin and said the Lord did that to him. That's the spirit that is on all of these bastards. And guess what? The Lord is going to deal with you for it. For the unaliving of our sister, for the abuse that you do to brothers. It was a poor brother in Tennessee that one of their captains beat the hell out of brutally. You know what I mean? Broke his jawbone, broke his arm and elbow. That's what they do. A bunch of sodomites, thugs, you know what I mean, and fake priests. Well, guess what? The Lord is going to deal with you in the coming day.
Right.
And the Lord is going to deal with you too. And that's the sad thing that our people got to understand, man, that they're not men of God. You want to find true men of God, you got to come here into the Israelite school of UPK. John chapter 10 and verse 11.
This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 11. I am the good shepherd.
I am the good shepherd. Christ is the good shepherd. Keep reading.
The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep.
Listen, man. Listen. When Christ said that I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Christ gave up his life so we can have the opportunity to come back to life, to come back to this truth, to come back to this work. Christ didn't give up his life so we can continue to be whores and whoremongers, to be sodomites, to be unalivers, to be the same wicked bastard that we were in the world. He gave up his life for us to change. And that's what a good shepherd would do. And that's the difference, guess what? Between the I.S.U.P.K and your organization. Because they would never. We would give up our lives for each other. Right. If I had to give up my life for a bun, I bought from a thumb yard, a corner yard, and Sawana, to thrive, then guess what? Bring me back a bun. You a Judite. I'll be back. Or my thumb yard, whoever get there first, probably a bun. Yeah, I mean, I'll be back. But you would never. You know why you would never? Read.
Verse 12. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not.
Now the hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not. The hireling don't own the sheep, but he want to make money off them. He want to get that currency. That was Pastor Winans. You know, it's supposed to be 1,000 plus 1,000. Only thing I really love, like a bun. You know what I really loved about that is that the outrage that our people gave that wicked bastard. Like, could you imagine? That's my grandmother going there scrounging up the electric bill money that we still behind on. But you gonna give it to him? You know what the good shepherd would do? Keep that 1,200, baby, and I'm gonna pay that bill. That's what a good shepherd would do. But no, I gotta have my 1,000 plus 1,000. You know, you just not listening. It's another video of the same pastor. A sister came up with $1.20 with her son, and it's all she had. He said, "This shit out of here." Some other girl. That's no lie. But the nigga was like this. Said, "This shit out of here. $1.25. And then another older sister came up and said, "I have a generous donation, Pastor, $500. He said, $500. Praise Jesus. Get that money right here. Make sure she sit there." That's how they do. That's how they do in the church. Your pastor is a pimp. He's a hireling. We don't belong to him. All he care about is two things: his money and cocaine. That's all he care, and molesting the kids. Those are the top 3 things that they do in that church. I seen one pastor, you know what I mean, a Yadiyah. I had to, although my mother's house, I think I was fixing the door or something. And this pastor was like, well, you know, our parishioners, you know, the $500 tithers sit here, but the 20,000 tithers. I said, the 20,000 what? The 20,000 tithers. Meaning it's people in the church that pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to this wicked bastard. And he's still going to complain about how the lights getting ready to get turned off. Nigga, I know a hustler when I see one. And let me tell you something. Ain't no hustler, ain't no pimp like that preacher or that pastor in that church. There ain't nothing like him. He's the hireling whose sheep he own not. Keep going.
Seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep.
He see the wolf coming, and he leave the sheep. They abandon us. How do you know they abandon us? Look at your reverend, Dr. Martin Luther King, the good reverend. Abandon our people for what? The oppressor's daughter? That's what they did. That's what they did. Left us behind. How could I forget, Iba? Your fake Israelite leader. You're nasty Nate. Oh, we don't need the Lord's name no more. So we don't need the Lord's name no more. You don't need Yahweh's name. You don't need the shield of David. All you need is purple, gold, and Tina Turner. And you're going to dance with each other. You're going to dance the night away. It's a rough one. He see the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep and flee. That's what they have done to us. They have abandoned us to join the wolf, to join the oppressor, to leave us to be devoured. Did Martin Luther King not say that I fear that I've integrated my people into a burning house? Did he not say that? He said that. I guess he was having cocaine withdrawals a bunch. He was like, that was a bad deal. That was a rough one. He seeth the wolf coming and he flee. Keep going.
And fleeth, and the wolf catches them and scattereth the sheep.
And now we're scattered. The wolf catches them and now we're scattered. Now you're in the Christian church. Now you're in the Muslim mosque. I was talking to one of my dear friends in the world. Another dear friend. I mean, my homie Derek. And this brother done converted to Islam a bunch. He ain't Derek no more. He's Abdul Rahim Suleiman Khalid Ahmed the Magnificent. Nigga. Like, good night. Now we're scattered in the mosque. Now we're scattered in the church. Now you're in the fake Israelite group. All because you was under the hireling and not the good shepherd. Christ is the good shepherd. Keep reading.
Verse 13. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling.
The hireling flee because he is an hireling. It's not his job, you know what I mean, to give up, you know what I mean, his life for the sheep and to look after them. It's not. That's why your pastor abandoned us a long time ago for that deal. And that's what all of them do. You want to know how you can tell who's real and who's not? When Commander General YAHANNA was breaking down last Monday on Black Watch was so heavy because they tried to get him. They came to him and said, now, brother, Amalek came with the bag. And y'all know Amalek got the bag. They got it. Commander General YAHANNA said, man, get the hell up out of here. Get thee behind me, Satan. Your pastor sold out for less. Your pastor sold out for 2 white girls, a nickel bag of cocaine. You know what I mean? That's what he sold out for. Your imam, forget about it. He sold out for a kente cloth, a dashiki, and bean pies. And fake gold watches. Sold out for less. Manager YAHANNA didn't sell out. He didn't. And that's how you can tell who a great leader really is. Because they came to Mattathias with the same thing. Did they not? They came to Mattathias, brother. The Greeks came to him and said, now, brother, you are influential amongst the Jews. If you come and sit and eat with us and eat that pork crab you know what I mean, and lobster. You know what I mean? The people will come and Mattathiah said, I ain't getting down with y'all. Get up out of here. And unalive the brother on the altar because he was going to do it. They came to Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego in the time, you know what I mean, of Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. Them brothers didn't fold. They didn't bow down, you know what I mean, to idols. They tried to set up Daniel the same way. The Persians knew that Daniel wasn't going to not serve his God for 30 days. They said, Daniel, you know what I mean? They said, well, Daniel, guess what? You can't serve your God. You can't serve the Most High for 30 days or you'll go in the lion's den. Daniel said, yeah, shalom. And went to go pray. Because real men of God don't sell out. Christ will never sell you out. But the problem is you don't know where Christ is. You think he's in that church. You think he's in that fake Israelite group masquerading in purple with pagan kits. You think he's in that mosque. He's not. The hireling would never. But the good shepherd, let's see. Keep reading.
And careth not for the sheep. Verse 14. I am the good shepherd.
Say it again.
I am the good shepherd.
Christ is the good shepherd. Christ is the good shepherd. Read.
And know my sheep and are known of mine.
And know my sheep are known of mine. And you got to understand something, and which is so important, how you can discern, you know what I mean, through the wickedness and madness out here. Just cross-examine everybody. They sharing pictures of rods in here. They dancing the night away with each other. They got pagan kits over here. They graping and essaying women and children and men. These Muslims over here are unaliving each other, but they won't eat bacon. They crossed the line at pork, but drug dealing is on the table about it. Drug dealing and gang banging and sleeping with each other. Why do you think they keep going back to jail? It's a rough one. It's a rough spot. That's why it is important to understand where Christ is. Christ is here in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge under command of General YAHANNA. And this is what we have to understand about this truth and why it is so important. Because it could change your life for the better.
Right.
You can't change your life over there. We tried it. You tried it. You have really, really tried it. And it didn't work out for you. You tried to join, you know what I mean, the church. But the church does not build strong men. Abba, give me the precept where, you know what I mean, the good tree, you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Matthew? Give me that. That wicked tree can't produce good, and the good tree can't produce bad. If you cross-examine everybody, Abba, they produce exactly what they produce. If you were in GMS, of course you're going to have a spirit and look upon you, you know what I mean, to where you don't know how to talk to women, where you looking at children when, Jesus Christ, like that's a rough spot to be in. You sitting up here in IUIC and you're not looking at tail, you're not looking at meat. You ain't having our weekly councils. You up there looking at men. Good night. You got to be able to discern. A lot of you sisters, man, be so foolish to go up in that church and think that pastor is such a man of God when he's robbing you blind. He is draining you of everything and putting you down like you're garbage. While you go home and treat that brother like he's garbage because he knows. One thing I always admired about my father, man, he knew that Pastor Ruffin was a crook. You know what I mean? But my father knew that pastor, you know what I mean, our mother and sisters went to was a crook and took me up out of there. You know what I mean? A lot of our people don't understand that. That there is wolves over there. It's sharks over there, if I may. And you will be devoured. But in here, this is where you come to get raised up. This is where you come to become a new brother or a new sister. Read what you got.
Yes, sir. This book of Matthew, chapter 7, and we'll start at verse 15. Beware of false prophets.
Beware of false what?
Of false prophets.
Man, beware of false prophets. Brother, they everywhere. What happened to them pastors that were saying that the world was supposed to end 2 months ago? Ain't that what they were saying? Ain't that Aquania? Ain't that what they were saying? They said that Christ is supposed to return and we're supposed to be up. It's supposed to be over. I'm gonna have to add that to my notes a bunch because in December of 2023 we were supposed to get superpowers. Yeah, I mean we ain't get our superpowers yet. Christ ain't returned yet. It's something else too that I'm missing. Like it's you know what I mean, like Bob. It's something else that I'm missing. I know he's supposed to get superpowers and then Christ is supposed to return. Like good night. And y'all listen. The next time y'all believe in that crazy stuff, just sign your car over to me or something. Just drain your bank account. You know what I mean? We need it. Like if you ever feel like that's how you feel like it's the end of the earth and you getting ready to ascend under heaven with poor Charlie, just sign that Lexus over. You know what I mean? Sign that mortgage over. You know what I mean? Cash at me all those funds. Cash at the school all those funds. You know what I mean? You don't need it. You don't need it. You're gonna be up there with poor Charlie. You know what I mean? Singing, ain't nobody gonna turn me around. Keep reading that, Bob. Beware of what?
Beware of false prophets.
Beware of false prophets. Keep going.
Which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Which come to you in sheep's clothing. I know it sound good. You see them marching. You see them marching down the street. They look strong. It's like, oh man, they look. Listen, I was looking at I was going down the rabbit hole of TikTok again. You look like the Q dogs. And do you know what they do in those fraternities? Which is also strange. Well, it ain't strange to us, like Bob, because we know what we're dealing with over there. We know they're a bunch of sodomites. But you model your organization off of two big primary sodomite organizations, those Greek fraternities and that Christian church. And then you blend it all together. Beware of false prophets, wolves in sheep clothing. Keep going.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves.
But inwardly they are raving wolves. They will devour you. You think you coming to learn the truth. You thinking you getting ready to learn about God, not realizing. Good night. Like imagine you sitting up in there and you trying to learn about God and you think you done found the truth and you getting ready to be a soldier and you got to slow dance with Big Frida. God damn, Cornea, that's a rough one. That's terrible. Imagine you thinking you done found the Lord. And next thing you know, the chief priest is asking you what size pegging kit should they get you. Brother, I pray you find your way here into the UPK. Because all we're going to ask you, brother, is what you want to drink, when are you available for camp, and how your camp fund. That's really it. We'll cover the rest. Quania, we take good care of you, right? Brothers took good care of me. Man, when I was coming up, Marah, Thumayum, you know what I mean? The bun took excellent care of me. Me and I bun took excellent care of my Thumyah. You know what I mean? This is a place where brothers can grow up and become strong. Not in there. That church and that fake Israelite group is so demoralizing. Like, could you imagine yourself? Like, I was looking, like, going back to earlier about Floyd Mayweather, like, how down bad do you have to be where you have all of those billions of dollars? Because, you know, well, Floyd ain't a billionaire, but he's close. You got hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and you got to bow down to Netanyahu? And it goes to show you, don't matter how big and bad and tough you are, if you are mentally weak to this oppressor, they will railroad you. Like a bun, can you imagine having $500 million in your bank account and you got to go down there and kiss the ring of Benjamin Netanyahu? It's a rough one. You got to sit there with the yarmulke and you can barely read what's on the teleprompter. It's a rough one. And you find yourself like what's another poor brother? Amari Stoudemire. You find yourself capping for people that's masquerading as you. It's a rough spot to be in. They are ravaging wolves. That's all they are in that Christian church. That's all they are in that Catholic, You know what I mean? Church and mosque and that Muslim mosque, you know what I mean? Over there in Judaism, you know what I mean? In the synagogue. That's all they are. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. Verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Mhm.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or
Ooh-wee.
figs
You
of
shall know them by their fruits. That is so heavy. That is so heavy. When you shall regard them by their fruits, meaning this, and gather grapes, you know what I mean, of thorns or fig trees. Listen, what you gotta understand, you know what I mean, the stock that you coming out of. And it's getting ready to go into that. Keep reading.
Yes, sir. Or figs of thistles. Verse 17.
Or figs of thistles. Because this, if you know them by their fruits, you just gotta cross-examine us. Look at what the UPK does, and then look at what everybody else does. All you see is amazing work in here. That's all you see. Boots on the ground, you know what I mean? Sending funds over there to the West Indian Islands for our people. Went down there for the mission to Acuna, you know what I mean, to help our brothers from the tribe of Levi, the Haitians, helping La Raza, you know what I mean, the Mexicans and Guatemalans, helping our people all across the earth. This is what the Israelite School of UPK is doing, under command of General YAHANNA. What do you do besides dance with each other? Grown men dancing with each other. What do you do besides unalive and brutally beat each other and great sisters and let heathens into your organization? You'll know them by their fruits. I know what type of fruit you produce. We know. And it ain't good. Keep reading.
Verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
Every tree. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. Meaning this. What Christ is saying is heavy. Every good tree is only going to breed good fruit. Here in the UPK, you can't be an evil nigga and stay in here.
Right.
What do I mean by that? Let me address something really quick. You want to know why brothers leave or brothers roll out and sisters roll out? Because you couldn't fake it no longer. That's one thing I love about this truth style now, that it's genuine and it's real. Right. This is it. We have real love for brothers and sisters in here. And you can't fake it in here. You can try. If you secretly, and it goes into your question, J.D. Walker, you know what I mean? J.D. Walker made a good, he said, Shalom, Shalom, may I regard the 70 times 7 verse, can I forgive my brother, but choose not to deal with him lawfully? Shalom. Here's the thing. And which is so important about forgiveness. That's another reason too. You such an evil bastard. You don't know how to forgive brothers. You don't know how to forgive sisters. You can't pull nobody to the side the way Christ said to do in Matthew the 18th chapter. Yes, you have to always forgive your brother and forgive your sister. You do. Now, if you're here in the UPK, yeah, but we know how to work with each other. You're going to have to, because we brothers and we sisters.
Right.
And yes, you can forgive a brother. And here's the thing, when not deal with them, I'll give you an excellent example of that. Your father may have not been there for you. Your mother may not have been there. Somebody might have done something unspeakable to you. Forgive them. Forgive them. You don't have to be in their face and all buddy. You don't have to be like that. But you can't hate them.
Right.
Can't hold that against them. I'm not telling you to forget. But if they Israelites, you must forgive them.
Right.
You have to. You don't got to be all kumbaya. Listen, let me tell you something. I done had brothers in the world do, you know what I mean, do me dirty. Sisters too. I've had brothers betray me. Sisters leave and betray my trust. But I forgive you. Don't mean we got to be all buddy and all kumbaya. Nah. I forgive you. Go on your journey. And that's the end of that. And that often happens with somebody in your household, where if your brother did something, or if your sister did something, your father did something, your uncle may have done something unspeakable to you. Your aunt may have done something equally as unspeakable. What you have to do is forgive them. Don't mean you got to be sitting with them at the Thanksgiving table, A lot of you are going to sit at the Thanksgiving table with the uncle that molested you, that SA'd you. And it's going to be so casual, like, pass the greens, man. Pass that dry turkey. Like, what? And that's the problem with the Christian church, and that's the problem with the Muslim mosque. No good can come out of that. That's why it's important to come back into this work and come in here. You come up in here in the Israelite school of UPK, you can learn how to forgive. You can. And it's always going to be 70 times 7. I'll use myself as I'll tell you a personal story of mine. Me and my father did not have the greatest relationship when I was a young man, because my father was unfortunately a victim, you know what I mean, of drugs in this society. Like, my father was my hero. He was a strong man, but fell weak under, you know what I mean, heroin. He fell under that demon. And when I was an older teenager and young adult, I needed my father and he wasn't there, but he got clean. And it was hard for me to forgive my father. I always had that resentment. But when I came in here in the Israelite school of UPK, and big shout out to my brother, precinct captain of 10,000, Ahmad Yashar, with his counsel, I was able to forgive my father and love my father. And in my father's last few years, we mended. I was able to forgive him, and we was able to, rekindle, and and be together as father and son. And I'm explaining something to you just for myself. And my last thing my father said to me on his deathbed, he told me that, I'm glad you found the truth and never leave them brothers in the I.S.U.P.K. And I will never leave, because I learned how to forgive in here. I learned how to forgive and be a better man and be a better brother and be a better son. You can be a better brother or a better sister too if you come in here. Yes, you always have to forgive your brother or your sister. But it doesn't mean, depending on the level, you know what I mean, that you have to be all buddy, kumbaya, and be under. You don't got to necessarily do that. But what you must do, you must forgive them. And if you don't want to be around them or, do whatever, that's fine. But you better forgive them. You can't walk around and let that linger in the back of your mind. You can't. Because here's the thing, and back onto the other point. If you come up and here, this is that good tree. This good tree is only going to produce good fruit. What I'm looking at is good fruit that is in here, and it came from a good tree. A good tree is not going to produce bad fruit. So when people come up in here and they roll, let them roll. They were never, what Christ said, Quania, they were never really with us. Never. Keep going, Ibad.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Now listen. Read that again.
From the top, sir.
But a corrupt tree.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
A corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Ooh-wee. That's all the corrupt tree knows how to do. That's how you can tell by the work that they do. If your tree is producing essayers and grapers and unalivers and violent men and women, then how can I call you a good tree? How can I say that you're a man or woman of God? How can that be? You're not. Keep reading.
Verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. That's what you got to understand. This good tree is never going to produce nothing evil. And that evil tree is never going to produce something good. And you got to ask yourself, if you're a brother, and that's why you don't see a lot of brothers, you know what I mean, in them fake groups, you know what I mean, when you see, you know what I mean, the pride that they have, oh, how can we can't have the truth? How can we can't do it? If you was a good brother, if you was a good sister, you would have understood that the Commander General YAHANNA made a decree in 2010 that all camps got to come back together. You'd have said counter one kind. I would have thought, you know what I mean, upon with the pegging scandal going on in Sakari, that half of them was going to come up in here. Turns to find out it was a group order on them pegging kits. It wasn't just one that went out. It wasn't. You were never meant to be here to begin with. That's why I say it's a special type of brother or sister that comes up in here. And if you're that brother or that sister, I commend you. Like, I applaud every brother that I see that put on that all black, because that is a hard thing to do. To shed yourself of the world, to stop smoking weed, you know what I mean? To stop messing with whores. Oh man, that's a rough one. It's everywhere. To be a sister, you know what I mean, that's so caught up, you know what I mean, in your lust, so caught up, you know what I mean, in the vanity of Instagram and social media and the lifestyle that they promote, that if you are genuine enough to come in here and want to change, surely the angels rejoice for that. I commend you, brother and sister. And what we need to do, if I could, let me get Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. We got to come back. And when you come back, don't half-ass. If you a brother that's coming up in here and you wearing that all black and you want to get that oil poured upon your head, take it as this, that you are giving an oath to the Most High. An oath to become a new man, to not eat shrimp, to not eat crab, to not eat lobster, to not deal with no whores, to not be a whoremonger, to be a sister, you know what I mean, understand, same principles apply. That you have to become brand new. And if you can't do that, I advise you, don't put that oil upon your head. And it goes to show you on how everybody can't be a priest. My same friend Mike, that told me that Christ wasn't a Judite and that Moses wasn't a Levite, he told me that he can teach brothers that have been taught the Bible, you know what I mean, for years, that have been trained up. He said, well, I believe anybody can teach anybody anything. So why do I do that? Okay. Like, what? And then I had to ask them, I said, can I go to NASA and teach, you know what I mean? what's a famous astronaut? Can I go teach Neil Armstrong something about space? The nigga told me yes. Like a bun. Can I come to into your profession and tell you something about something that you've studied for years? No. I even broke it down as simple. I will put it as I can go as carnal or as low level or whatever. Like, if I go into a dojo and I go to the karate master, I can't teach the karate master a karate move that he don't know. I can't do that. I'll take it simpler than that. I can't decide to say, all right, Bahaya, I'm going to teach you something about chess. He's going to be like, now, sir, now, brother, please, Salaki. You can't. It's like some of you poor brothers, yeah, it's rough. I ain't going to go to the other step with them, y'all. But some of you 2025 brothers, well, I ain't going to say that. Because I definitely could teach some of y'all a thing about Call of Duty. shout out to Thunya Allah. Shout out Quatazai and Kahal. Now, brothers. But that's a whole Aquaniya, like, come on now, sir. I'm just messing with my brothers, man. That's a joke. But I can't come and teach the master anything. If you think that you can come in here and pick up this Bible and teach a priest, you cannot. Brother, I don't give a damn if you are in all black as a young man. They can't teach you nothing. Like Aquaniya. A pastor can't teach you nothing. He can't. TD Jakes can't teach you. Louis Farrakhan can't teach you. Winans can't teach you. You want to know why? Because you're learning and studying under the real men of God who know the Bible from front to back and side to side. A trooper knows more than you. Our troopers can go into your organization and wipe you out in 20 minutes. The audacity, the arrogance. But it's okay. This is what you got to understand. Give me Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4.
Yes, sir. Come.
Bubba Kashaw, you on mine, brother. Yeah. Oh, let the young brother read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Our God is telling us to come out of her, to come out of America, to come out of their way of thinking. America's way of thinking is to think like this past holiday or Halloween, to send your kids out to get molested by the people that are registered on the registry. Slaki TikTok. Y'all know who they are. Y'all know Mr. Pewtersmith got the red tag across his name on the registry. And you're gonna send your child, you know what I mean, to him. you know what I mean, to get essayed. No. Come out of her, my people. You shouldn't be dressing up as ghouls and goblins, and for you sisters, an excuse to dress like a whore, you know what I mean, a creature of the evening, a streetwalker. Salakia. That's what they called him back in your day, Aquania. I know. You ain't supposed to do that. Come out of her, my people. Come out of America's way of thinking. They want us to be junkies. They want us to be high. They want us to be sodomites. They want us to be whores and whoremongers. They want us eating all type of abomination. Our God is telling us to come out of her, my people. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
That ye be not partakers of her sins. Don't do the sins that they do. And their sins are innumerable. Read on.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
That ye receive not of her plagues. There are more plagues to come. You thought the coronavirus was rough? It's more plagues coming besides the coronavirus. The Lord shut this place down with one small virus. Forget about it. The Lord can send more. And if you a sodomite, boy, that monkeypox and that HIV is something. Black, Latino, First Nation man and woman, now is the time to come back to who we truly are, because we are the Jews of antiquity, the Israelites, and it's imperative for us to come back to our identity. Zephaniah 2:1 says to gather yourselves together, to yea, gather together, O nation not desired, because we're not desired in America. We're not desired, you know what I mean, all across the earth. But the I.S.U.P.K, the Commander General YAHANNA, desires our people. Our King Yahweh Shah Mashiach desires us. And our God Yahweh desires us to change our lives for the better. And how do we do that? Let me close out with this precept. Give me 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. I bow. 1 Peter 2 and verse 9. Bubba Quishaw.
Yes, sir. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
We are that chosen generation. We're the generation that the Lord chose to get right, to come back into this work. Don't put off changing till tomorrow or next week. Do it now. Right now. Read.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. This royal priesthood has always been the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. It has never been your purple sodomites in Purple Rain. It has never been your pagan kits in Sakari under the gorilla. It has never been any of your fake Israelite groups or Christian churches or mosques. It's always been the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General YAHANNA. This has always been the royal priesthood. Keep going.
And holy nation.
And holy nation, a separate nation. Holy meaning to be separate, set apart. Keep going.
A peculiar people.
A peculiar people, a special people according to the Lord. Read.
That ye should shew forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
We've been called out of the darkness of this world into the marvelous life, the light of the truth. His marvelous light, Christ's marvelous light, is the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General YAHANNA. Come out of the world and save your life. Listen, man, one of my favorite precepts in James 4:8, it says, draw nigh to God and God will draw nigh to you. You come up here in this truth and guess what? Your life will change. It will change for a better that you don't even understand. You're going to have to endure. You're going to have to endure. You're going to have to work for it. But the reward, Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman, is magnificent. It is worth it. It is truly worth it. But are you ready? Who will you serve? Will you continue to serve yourself and the oppressor? Or will you come up in here in this work and serve the Most High? With that being said, Priest and Officer 5,000 Yadiyah, the water for tuning in. You know what I mean? I want to implore everybody to pay their tithes, and big shout out to Commander General YAHANNA. Big shout out to Captain Yadiyah, man, doing it up there in Texas. Got a beautiful cookout down there in South Texas. And shout out to my brothers down there, man. And with that being said, I'm going to pass the class off to Priest and Officer of 500 Mathumya.
Christ. It's I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K, so are the 1 West, 125th Street, all New York, and the Commander General YAHANNA. Move for new brother and sister. When a new brother and or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. This is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means the tenth in the Hebrew, I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The next one will be the Feast of so I can note on it. The Feast of Dedication. All right, and lands on the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. Sunday the 14th, in December. All right, for 8 days. You can find this in the book of Maccabees, First Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. Remind occupant to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That man of Israelite Muslim, stand, courtesy salute. Right. Man of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Rock. YAHANNA, Yahweh, guys on the top. So, this means turn. This is our Muslim, this means the stand. We're going to give the sister a courtesy salute. All right. Man of Israel, I.S.U.P.K. Rock.
Yahweh Shemar, Yahweh.
Guys on the top. Class dismissed.
Now.